What up, guys? Your boy Quake back with a brand new episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast, number 320, powered by the one and only Golden Eagle Energy Drink. Get your Golden Eagle Energy Drinks at drinkgoldeneagle.com/DMP. That's drinkgoldeneagle.com/DMP. They're sponsoring all season 4 of the podcast, so show them love for showing us love. Before we get into the news, this is kind of news and it's not. I want to talk about a little bit more about Young Dolph's trial. And before, I was thinking about talking about it right now, but I was on this podcast episode, but I was like, let me wait until the trial is officially over because I'm actually watching every single day of the trial because it's actually, streamed so people can see it. There's cameras in there. And I'm learning a lot of stuff, first off. It's sad, for one, obviously, for obvious reasons, but it's just the things and the way he got killed and who put up money and this and that. So basically, without going too deep into it, which I will break down the whole trial. I mean, I've been writing notes left and right. Basically, the report is that Yo Gotti's bigger brother, Big Jook, put out $100,000 hit bounty on Dolph's life. And how these individuals basically all intertwined. Justin Johnson, which is the straight drop guy, the rapper. Cornelius Smith, who is the person that helped in the shooting. And then there's one more guy's name. I forget his name. Hovan, something like that. Hernandez Govan. He is the one that kind of orchestrated everything. So that Hernandez Govan guy, he was talking with Big Jook. And Cornelius Smith is someone who is basically a drug addict, right? He's someone who lost his son in 2020. And he said because of that is why he started taking drugs really, really, just to numb the pain and just became a drug addict. Oxycodone and I think Percocet, those were the two things that he was taking. If you guys hear something in the background, I apologize. It is raining, thunderstorming like crazy. There's supposed to be a hurricane coming pretty soon here in the south in Georgia. So I'm trying to record this midday and hopefully the power doesn't run out. But if you don't hear anything, good. But if you hear something, that's what it is. A bunch of rain and thunderstorming. Anyways, that Cornelius Smith guy, he was a drug addict. He ended up going to Hernandez Govan's house where he would buy drugs from. And when he went there, Hernandez was talking to Big Jook. And apparently they were talking about trying to get Dolph killed. This is what Cornelius Smith is testifying. By the way, I should have said this in the beginning. Cornelius Smith and Hernandez Govan have decided to snitch against Justin Johnson, who's the rapper Straight Drop. So they decided to comply, and they're going to tell their side of the story. So far, only Cornelius Smith has said something. Hernandez Govan hasn't said anything yet. They're going to be interviewing him, I believe, in these next upcoming days of the trial. That's why I'm not really going over everything completely because we still need Hernandez's side of everything. But regardless, Big Jook and Hernandez were talking about putting a hit on Dolph, and Cornelius Smith was there. Hernandez knew that Cornelius Smith was a drug addict and that he needed money, so he said, listen, join us. I'll give you a cut of the money. Big Jook said, hey, I'm willing to put $100,000. You guys get a cut of the money. And then Justin Johnson eventually joined in on the conversation because he, and this is what the prosecutors are saying, Hernandez Govan missed out on an opportunity a while ago to bring Yo Gotti and CMG, the Collective Music Group, Cocaine Music Group, an artist. They missed out on one previously, so they said Hernandez Govan was like, hey, I'm going to bring them Straight Drop. This is that Justin Johnson guy. And from there, I'm going to, hopefully sell him, the artist idea and say, hey, because Big Jook on Yo Gotti's label was somebody who would scout for talent for Yo Gotti's label. So Hernandez was like, hey, I bring Straight Drop to Big Jook. We get a deal going. I get a cut at the deal. So that's how Justin Johnson got tied into this. But Big Jook said, hey, you guys take care of this Dolph thing for me, and we'll make sure that Straight Drop gets signed to Yo Gotti's label, and you guys get your $100,000. That's basically the gist of it. $100,000, Straight Drop gets signed to the label. So Straight Drop gets a label deal and gets $40,000 of that money. And the way the money was supposed to be split is Hernandez Govan gets $10,000, Cornelius Smith gets $40,000, and then Straight Drop, aka Justin Johnson, gets $40,000. So that's what Big Jook promised, that, hey, you guys do this, you guys get your money, and we sign Straight Drop. He gets a record deal at Yo Gotti and Hernandez. You get your cut of bringing us the artist Straight Drop. And Straight Drop, you obviously get your deal. The only person that walks away with really just the money is Cornelia Smith. Cornelia Smith testified and said, hey, I don't know Young Dolph. I could give two fucks about the beef. I just wanted money because I had a drug habit. That's really what it was. He could care. He's like, I have no idea who Young Dolph is. He probably knew who he was, but he's like, I have no ties to him. It was just another business deal for me. That's basically what he said, which is a harsh way of looking at it, but it's really hard to talk with this rain. It's like distracting the shit out of me, so I apologize if I'm not like on track 100%. But basically, all this happened, and then they do the deed. They knew that Young Dolph that whole week was going to do a turkey drive. He was there that whole week to give out turkeys. So they said, you know what, this is the perfect week that we can potentially catch him slipping. And they ended up finding out about Young Dolph at a turkey drive event, saw him in a yellow t-shirt, which is bright. Obviously, you can see yellow from miles away. And they saw him get into that Corvette, and they followed him. And he stopped to, the cookies place, Makita's cookies or Medea's cookies, whatever. Now, they did release new footage of inside the cookie place of Dolph ordering cookies. Dolph came out the car alongside his brother, and his brother was strapped. Dolph, I don't know if he was or not. Regardless, his brother was strapped. They get in there. There's camera footage of Dolph wanting to order some cookies. She starts to ring up the cookies, and she sees two armed men come and with guns. One has an AK, and then one has just a pistol. They come masked up, and they start spraying. The lady goes obviously in the back of the shop. Dolph gets sprayed up with bullets. He got hit in the jaw once. They actually pulled out a bullet fragment from his jaw, and they showed all the clothing and jewelry and, how his clothing was just destroyed. I mean, riddled with bullets. It was very, very sad to see. He was dead on the scene. The second ambulance came. They couldn't do anything about it. He was dead. His brother didn't get hit, but his brother shot back at them with the pistol that he had, and he hit Cornelia Smith in the shoulder and in the leg. And then eventually he goes, there's video footage of him going inside the Corvette and bringing out, and it looked like an AK or Draco, whatever. I don't know the exact names, but they look like AKs and Dracos, whatever. And he pulls that out and is about to start spraying and shooting them. But by the time he starts doing that, they're already long gone with the car. And then there's video footage of them, going back to an apartment where there's cameras there. Like, they got tracked everywhere. It was very, very obvious. I mean, Memphis, like local Memphis people on Facebook solved this thing within literally 48 hours. It was very quick. So obviously that helped the police in figuring out who did what. But that's just the gist of it. There's a lot more details. There's details of Yo Gotti's first lawyer being hired by Yo Gotti's team. So the real question here I'm trying to figure out is, will Yo Gotti go down for this as well? Will the police have something that they can tie Yo Gotti to this situation and get him, potentially locked up? There's a possibility. I'm not saying there's a strong possibility, but there is a possibility. The fact that Big Jook, and this is a fact, this is no rumor or anything, Big Jook was the one that put out, that type of money on him. There is some ties to Yo Gotti there. Obviously, that's Yo Gotti's brother, bigger brother. But the crazy thing is, too, after all this, after Dolph got killed, Dolph's side allegedly got a lot of getbacks. They probably got at least 5 or 6 Gotti's people, because Big Jook is dead now. He died in the beginning of this year. And about 4 or 5 other people got killed. So Dolph's side retaliated quick. And overall, it's just a bloody mess. I mean, it's a sad situation, man. So that's kind of the gist of it, but I'm going to be breaking it down in a lot more detail in the next episode. So if the next episode is a little bit delayed or late, it's because I'm just getting all the pieces together and making sure I explain it as detailed as I can. But let's get into the news. Right now, the power is kind of iffy, so if it goes out, know that, I'm going to try my best to be back and record everything and finish it up. But right now, the power is kind of flickering on me, so I hope while I'm recording, it doesn't just randomly shut off right now. The storm is kind of crazy. But first, there's updates on Fatman Scoops' cause of death. Let's go over the article. Fatman Scoops' cause of death has been revealed after the rapper and DJ collapsed on stage during a performance last month. Connecticut's chief medical officer ruled on Tuesday, September 24th, that his death was caused by hypertensive and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. This was also ruled as being caused naturally. Hypertensive heart disease is a condition that develops in people with long-term high blood pressure and puts added strain on the heart. Atherosclerosis, meanwhile, is a buildup of plaque in the artery walls, causing arteries to narrow and blood flow to be blocked. He was 56 years old when he fell down on stage and was performing at the time. But yeah, man, rest in peace to him. But at least we got an official reason, as to why. Updates on PnB Rocks murder trial. And it looks like he got sentenced. So let's go over our article. PnB Rocks murder suspects were both found guilty on all counts last month, and now they have been handed down their respective sentences. On Monday, September 23rd, Freddie Lee Trone was sentenced to 31 years to life for his role in the 2022 shooting death, according to a report from Deadline. The 42-year-old is a father of the 17-year-old alleged shooter who is currently being deemed unfit for trial and acted as the boy's getaway driver. He also ordered the hit. Trone conspired moments ahead of the murder with fellow suspect Tremont Jones, who has received a 12-year prison sentence. Trone was found guilty of felony murder, 2 counts of robbery, and 1 count of conspiracy during court proceedings in August, while Jones was found guilty of 2 counts of robbery and 1 count of conspiracy. In a statement to Rolling Stone following the verdict, PnB Rock's mother, Deanna Allen, said, "I'm elated. I wanted to jump up and scream hallelujah. I'm so happy it was quick. We got justice for Rakim. I feel better knowing they'll be in jail for a long time." Trone's lawyer argued there was no proof his client was at the crime scene, but the jury's foreperson, Edwin Lovo, noted that surveillance video showed differently. "We could clearly see it was him," Love said. And that's hell of a sentence, but that's what they deserve, man. Rest in peace, PnB Rock. Another sad situation of an artist dying over something very senseless and stupid. I mean, going back to the Dolph thing, think about it. These guys, even for 100, let's just say, first off, they never even got the $100,000. So Big Jook never paid them. Big Jook, according to Cornelius Smith, paid him $500 one time and $300 one time. And that's it. Got $800 out of the whole Young Dolph murder. They would have been better off. These guys, first off, they would have been better off just taking Dolph's chains. They would have been way better off just robbing him of his chains. They probably would have got more money out of this situation. At least then you're not looking at murder. If you were to rob somebody, yeah, you could potentially get, they could potentially find you and lock you up for a couple of years. But come on, man. Like killing somebody and you guys never got the money. You guys look like fucking dumbasses. Like, look at this. $100,000 you take someone's life that was feeding so many people's mouths over something so senseless, man. And the same thing here at PnB Rock. Over some fucking chains that you guys barely got any money out of. It just doesn't make any sense. And here's another thing too. Let's just say you kill them, you get the $100,000. What's to say that somebody's not just going to snitch on you immediately and throw you under the bus? Like, listen, you're coming from poverty-stricken area where income is very low. If the police put out a $5,000 reward, a $1,000 reward, doesn't even have to be $5,000, a $1,500 reward for any information, anybody that you tell, anybody that you get help from, because Cornelius Smith got shot and he had to get his wounds healed. Anybody that knew anything would immediately throw you under the bus and get their money because they got nothing to do with the shooting. They might as well just snitch on you and get their money. It's stupid, man. It makes no fucking sense, and it's never made sense. People like this. And Cornelius Smith, to his credit, said he was drugged out of his mind. He didn't really have a conscience. He wasn't thinking at the time. He's a drug addict. When you're a drug addict, you're not really thinking straight. So he said, now that I have a conscience, I feel bad for the situation. I would have never done it, blah, 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 blah. But it's too late. You can't rewind the hands of time. Justin Johnson, obviously, I think he's going up to stand. Maybe he's not. But he's the only one that, that from what I've seen so far, it doesn't seem like he cares about what happened. Regardless, sad, man. Overall, sad with PnB Rock, Dolph, Nipsey Hussle. The Nipsey Hussle situation was sad. It was just dumb over nothing. Yeah, man, these type of things piss me off when I start reading these things because it just doesn't make any sense, man. It's not worth your life. It's not worth people in the streets get killed over $500, over $100. So $100,000, hey man, somebody's gonna get a dump for 100,000. You're gonna find someone stupid enough to risk their whole life for $100,000. 100,000 goes away in a snap of a finger, man. I don't think people realize that. That kind of money really isn't anything major, man. That kind of money goes very fast. So, unless you're smart with it and you know what to do with it, and you invest it properly. But most people that, if you're gonna go kill somebody for 100,000, the last thing you're doing is going to invest into the S&P 500 stock and looking to flip the money. You're probably just going to go have fun for however long 100,000 lasts, and that's it. You're going to be back in the streets doing your thing. Hopefully, you spend the money before you get locked up, because some people don't even get the chance to spend the money that they fucking did, all that stuff. But they didn't even get the money. The Young Dolph's killers didn't even get the money, so it was dumb overall. But that's the update for PnB Rocks situation, and shout out to her mom, man. She was really elated and happy, man. She deserves at least some type of closure from this situation. Quando Rondo has pleaded not guilty to multiple charges. Let's go over the article. Quando Rondo has pleaded not guilty regarding multiple charges he received following a high-speed car crash last year. On Thursday, September 19th, Quando entered the plea, which stemmed from a July 19, 2023. They repeated that twice, but July 19, 2023, near northbound Harry S. Truman Parkway and White Bluff Road in Savannah, Georgia. The rapper born Taekwon Bowman was arrested back in February at the time of the crash. Rondo was on bond for drug and gang charges in Georgia. Now the rapper is out on bond for a federal drug conspiracy charge, for which he is scheduled to be sentenced on December 12th. Interesting. We'll keep our eyes posted on this, but I don't think really much is going to happen in terms of chargings. Man, it's very hard to do this podcast with this rain. It's like in my headphones, and I can hear like it's like staticky. It's annoying. So I apologize if I'm constantly stuttering over words and stuff, man. It's even harder. It's like, imagine when you're talking, every time you talk, you hear shh every time. Very annoying. Diddy's kids have decided to speak out, man, because Diddy is locked up. He can't really speak out if things are said or done, even though Diddy really hasn't said much besides the Cassie video where he put out a video apologizing. Diddy's children have decided to denounce that false Kim Porter book that we reported on the last episode, where there were accusations that Kim Porter wrote in like her diary that Diddy slept with underage kids and, had abuse and all this stuff. Well, Diddy's children are saying none of those diaries are real. It's all fake. The book is fake. So let's go over the article. Diddy's children have denounced a book purportedly written by his late ex, Kim Porter, before her death, calling it untrue. In a joint post on Tuesday, September 24th, Porter and Puffy's children, Christian, Jesse, and Delilah, as well as their half-brother Quincy, released a statement about the alleged book, Kim's Lost Words, which contains serious claims about the former couple's love life, including that the bad boy boss had gay sex with an 18-year-old pop star and at least one chart-topping rapper. So let's go over what they wrote. It's fairly long. We have seen so many hurtful and false rumors circulating about our parents, Kim Porter and Sean Combs' relationship, as well as about our mom's tragic passing, that we feel the need to speak out. Claims that our mom wrote a book are simply untrue. She did not, and anyone claiming that to have a manuscript is misrepresenting themselves. Additionally, please understand that a so-called friend speaking on behalf of our mom or her family is not a friend, nor do they have their best interests at heart. Our lives were shattered when we lost our mother. She was our world, and nothing has been the same since she passed. While it has been incredibly difficult to reconcile how she could have been taken from us too soon, the cause of her death has long been established. There was no foul play. Grief is a lifelong process. And we ask that everyone respect our request for peace as we continue to cope with her loss every day. We are deeply saddened that the world has made a spectacle of what has been the most tragic event of our lives. Our mother should be remembered for the beautiful, strong, kind, and loving woman she was. Her memory should not be tainted by horrific conspiracy theories. We ask that everyone please respect our mother, Kim Porter, and hold her legacy in high regard so that she may rest in peace. It's what she deserves. We love you and miss you, Mommy. Quincy, Christian, Jesse, and Delilah. Yeah, man. That's the sad part about a lot of this stuff, is that as a celebrity, you become, at least as kids of a celebrity parent too, you become public property. People can say whatever, publish whatever, and people... Here's the fucking crazy thing, and I've always complained about this. Even on Twitter now, aka X, there was a tweet by some random ass guy. It said breaking, Jay-Z and Beyonce are being investigated by the federal whatever FBI. No source, nothing, just a photo of Jay-Z and Beyonce and that tweet. And this shit went viral, and people in the replies are saying, "Oh my god, like, how are people?" I'm genuinely dumbfounded how stupid people are. People just believe anything they see online with no source and nothing. Like I'm speechless at this shit. I'm still speechless, and I've seen this years and years. And somebody said to me on Twitter, "Oh, this is Elon Musk's Twitter." No, this has been happening before Elon Musk. People just randomly post shit, somehow go viral. I post facts, and I don't even go viral. I'm like, what the fuck? But if I were to post a lie, I bet you that shit would fucking spread like wildfire. But it's like, what the fuck, man? It's insane. Yeah, I saw that Jay-Z and Beyonce thing, and people have been wanting to take down Jay-Z and Beyonce like crazy. It's become like a weird obsession. If Jay-Z and Beyonce actually did something, eventually it'll come to the light, you know. But right now, there's nothing. You know, people are trying to say that Jay-Z was really old when Beyonce was really young, and that's creepy. But I think when they got actually into a relationship, they were both the age of consent, because in some states, 17 is legal. Yeah, was Jay-Z 30, 31, whatever, and she was 17? Yeah, that's an insanely huge age gap. I would never, I just don't see what I have in common with a 17-year-old if I was 31. I just can't see it. Right now, I'm 29, and I've talked to girls that are 20, 21, and I'm just like, my head hurts most of the time, because I'm like, these women just like, they have a totally different mindset. They're like children still. And then I've dated girls that are like 24, 25, closer to my age, and it's a lot more, hey, you know what? She's mature. She understands. It's very hard, at least for me. I don't know. The biggest age gap I'll accept for me, now that I'm 29, is maybe 7, 8 years old. I mean, nice. Whoa. Take that back to it. I've been talking about 7, 8 year gap. I said 7, 8 years old. What the fuck am I talking about? R. Kelly over here and P. Diddy. 7 to 8 year age gap. That's the biggest age gap I'll accept. And that's a huge age gap to me, because I'm 29. 7 to 8 years is what? I don't know. I'm terrible at math here. 22, 21. Like I said, 20 and 21, like around that age. To me, the girls are still immature, at least the ones that I've talked to at that age. So I haven't talked to any girls that age in a minute, because it just turned me off. It's just like, nah, I'm good. Now, are there mature 20, 21-year-olds? Probably. But I haven't found any, at least on my end. I don't really care. I think my parents' age gap, I believe, is 4 or 5 years. So I would be fine with a 4 or 5 year age gap. Me being 29, finding somebody at 24, 25, that would be a lot better for me. But I know the older I get, then the older the women get as well, because, you know, you got to deal with children, and then people got to deal with, like, you know, because women at a certain age, they start to end up having children or can't have children. So it's a little bit different when it comes to men and women, but that's a whole different thing. But yeah, I don't know how the fuck I got into this conversation about this. Yeah, usually, you know, it's sad for the family. Oh, I was talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce and the age gap, yeah. But yeah, the random reports and stuff like this and false conspiracy theories with no proof. I've always said platforms that spread information like this with no source should get deplatformed and shouldn't be able to post anymore. Also, you know, if, like, see, that's why I like Cardi B suing Tasha K, and that's why I like Nicki Minaj suing that other person. People need to get sued for this, man. It's straight up disrespectful. I think people even posting about, like, a bunch of fake information on Diddy as well, even though right now is the time to attack Diddy. They're posting random shit that just there's been no proof of. You know, I saw one post that there was 762 dildos found in Diddy's house. It's funny. Yeah, I mean, that's freaky as fuck. It's funny. But that was never something that was real. It was just shared online and everybody believed it. I was like, dude, they never found any of this stuff. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Anyways, that's the internet for you. A lot of misinformation. So be careful out there, guys. Don't fall. Look for sources or do your own Googles. But we'll keep our eyes posted and see what happens moving forward. Maybe that book gets released and there's proof that it might have been real. I don't know. We don't know, but the kids deny it. So we'll see. Diddy has been sued once again. Yes, I don't know how many lawsuits Diddy has now stacked up against him, but another woman has come forward. So let's go over the article. Diddy continues to face more accusations of sexual assault, with the latest being a recounting in a new lawsuit of an alleged 2001 rape that was, according to the complaint, videotaped and subsequently shared. A woman named Talia Graves filed the complaint on Tuesday, September 24th in federal court in New York. In the suit, she alleges that back in 2001, she was dating someone who worked at Bad Boy, and Diddy called her to set up a meeting under the guise of needing to talk to her about her partner's performance issues at work. While in Diddy's SUV, she alleges in the suit the mogul gave her a glass of wine, which had been drugged. The complaint says that she passed out shortly after arrival at Diddy's studio, and when she woke up, she was naked and her hands were tied behind her back with what felt like a plastic grocery bag. The suit recounts her alleged subsequent rape by both Diddy and his then bodyguard Joseph Sherman, who was also named in the suit. Following the assault multiple times over the years, both Combs and Sherman contacted plaintiff and warned her to be silent, threatening repercussions, including plaintiff potentially losing custody of her son if she ever disclosed the assault, the suit said. Then in November 2023, the suit says that Graves' former boyfriend revealed to her that Diddy and Sherman had shown him a video of the assault and alleges that the two had a habit of doing this and selling the resulting videos. That is very weird. A Bad Boy artist later corroborated in a text message that Sherman used to sell porn of him doing this to chicks, and that Sherman did that to a lot of women, the complaint reads. Combs and Sherman had shown the video of Graves' assault to multiple men seeking to publicly degrade and humiliate both plaintiff and her boyfriend. Attorney Gloria Allred, who is representing Graves, will be hosting a press conference in Los Angeles at 2:30 Eastern to talk about the suit. Interesting. Yeah, man, that's very weird. Yeah, I'm not surprised if they find video footage of this incident during the raid as well. I don't know. Who knows if Diddy kept all of the instances that he's done things. Would not be surprised, though. Imagine, like, if they have stuff from the 90s up until now, like tapes on tapes and stuff. It'd be insane. But yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted and see what happens moving forward. Before we continue, I want to give a shout out to Golden Eagle for sponsoring this podcast. Yes, if it wasn't for Golden Eagle, this podcast wouldn't be possible. If you're looking for an energy drink that doesn't tear a hole in your pocket, Golden Eagle energy drink is the one you want to get. Golden Eagle has the smoothest taste with no aftertaste. You don't get acid reflux when you drink it, and you will save a lot of money. So check out Golden Eagle at drinkgoldeneagle.com/DMP. The link is in the description below. And how do you think this podcast would be possible without me having energy to do it? Come on, guys. You guys got to remember this. I need energy to do this stuff, man, because there's a lot of crazy topics. So look how smooth this thing sounds. Look at, oh my God, it's fresh. Look at that Golden Eagle. Look at the can. It's so beautiful too, man. Look at that. That's so fresh, man. So fresh. Golden Eagle energy drink. Go to the link description below. That's drinkgoldeneagle.com/DMP. Let's continue the episode. Well, it looks like people are missing Diddy now that he's locked up because his streaming numbers have jumped. And this is no surprise. Diddy's streams have increased significantly amid news of the embattled mogul's sex trafficking and racketeering arrest. According to a report from CNB News on Monday, September 23rd, industry data and analytics company Luminate confirmed an 18.3% increase in on-demand streams during the week of his arrest compared to the prior week. This tends to happen when a music maker is dominating the headlines, even if it's for a negative reason like Diddy or previously R. Kelly. Following the premiere of Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, the singer's streaming numbers on Spotify increased by 16%. As for Diddy, an old interview where he details kinky parties has resurfaced online following his arrest. Yeah, there's no surprise here, but the streams usually jump higher when it's something positive. Or not really positive, but, you know, like if an artist passes away, that's not really a positive thing, but it makes people miss the person a lot more versus somebody that gets locked up over bad charges like this. I think people just see a bunch of Diddy stuff and they're like, you know what, let me listen to what Diddy, you know, his music used to be like, what he used to do. I mean, there's no denying that Diddy has had an impact on music and just pop culture and celebrity stuff in general. Like, the guy has insane moments that have always been used as memes or just moments. You know, he had his MTV series, Making the Band. You know, he's, you know, had his own business venture, Rocks, all this stuff. Like, he's been in the game for so long that he's impacted for a long time. And to just try and wipe all that away because of some, lawsuits or allegations and stuff right now is not going to happen. People are going to remember these lawsuits, allegations, if it actually becomes true and, he gets sentenced and stuff like that. But people are also going to remember the good times that he gave a lot of people, because there's been a lot of celebrities, a lot of, now at least we have more of a history on things because of the internet. But there's been a lot of celebrities that have a bad past that still have a legendary career in terms of, look at R. Kelly as another perfect example. He makes classic music, but obviously his past has wiped a lot of that away. I can't listen to the music the same way. Can I separate the artist from, the personal life? I don't know. A lot of people can. I really can't, I think, in my opinion, because R. Kelly's singing about a female, I'm thinking of a young girl that he's singing to. It's like, it just doesn't, it doesn't quite hit the same. Let's just say that. So we'll see, I don't know. I think if somehow Diddy makes it out of this, right? Let's just say he's innocent on all charges, he makes it out free. That's going to skyrocket his numbers even more, and he might become even more legendary in terms of who he is as a figure, because there's been so many stories surrounding Diddy his whole entire career that potentially him shooting somebody in the face with the Shine incident, potentially him putting a hit out on Tupac's life, potentially him getting a fight with J. Cole, potentially all these insane things that have been said and done and whatever. Him hitting a football coach with a kettlebell because, maybe the coach said something bad to his kids. I don't remember how the story went, but that's another thing. There's so many stories of him doing stuff to people that's never deterred people from still listening to him and bumping him. I personally just never really liked Diddy. Have I heard a lot of his music when I was younger, and did I listen to it? Yeah. Like, what's that song? Bump, bump, bump. I forget that fucking record. But he's had records where it's like, okay, that I listened to as a kid that I enjoyed. But the older I got, the more I wasn't a big fan of Diddy. Not because I was a fan of 50, but I just never really, like, when Diddy came with the Last Train to Paris, I did listen to Coming Home. I really liked that record. And I think Hello, Good Morning. But that's really about it. I never really was like, oh my God, I got to hear this new Diddy album, this new, I didn't really listen to a lot of Diddy. But I know in a lot of people's lives, though, he made a huge, huge impact. So it's hard for some people to separate, from the actual artist to, the art. But for me, it's not, man. It's not really that hard to separate. Or actually, I don't separate. Sorry. Not that hard to separate, but I don't separate. But yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted and see what happens moving forward. Meek Mill has been getting dragged because of all the Diddy lawsuits and accusations. The photo of him and Diddy with that short guy is just hilarious, man. I can't get over it. It just something looks off in that photo. I don't know what to say, but something is off. And Meek Mill has had enough of it. He says, stop it, guys. Stop accusing me of doing stuff with Diddy. I'm tired of it. So what does he do? Last week, he offered $1 million to some random tweeter and said, hey, if you guys find anything freaky in these Diddy lawsuits when they go to trial, I'll give you $1 million. Now he's offering $100,000 to hire some private investigators to clear his name that's associated with Diddy. So let's go over the article. Meek Mill has offered $100,000 to any detective who can prove that he was not involved with Diddy's alleged freak-off parties, following rampant rumors that Meek had slept with the Bad Boy boss, as claimed in a producer Lil Rod's sexual assault lawsuit against the mogul. The Philadelphia rapper appears intent on clearing his name. In a couple of bizarre posts on X, Meek offered a large sum of money to prove he has nothing to do with Diddy's sex trafficking and racketeering case. This is what he said. I want to hire an investigation team, $100,000 cash, to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill name to Diddy case. I also want them to look at who is powering the media involving Meek, anything to do with Buddy. Something not right. The streets know what's up with me. That's not the case. We talking about business side, somebody powering these bad campaigns. With Meek Mill, again, I got $100K for a thorough investigation of who's powering and how exactly my name connect to this. Now, sorry, I'm about to burst out laughing. One thing that I do give Meek Mill, there is a fake audio that is going on online of Meek Mill and Diddy having sex. it's fake. The audio's fake. It's altered. It's AI. It's not real. It's been proven. It's been fake. So that aspect I understand, right? That gets spread like wildfire on social media. Unfortunately, there's morons that just believe it. They hear it. They think it's automatically real. There's no vetting process. I was talking about this earlier in the podcast. It just frustrates me when people don't have sources and people just believe whatever they hear and see online. That's probably the most frustrating thing for me. So that part of it, I understand, right? That fake audio, that's fucked up. Meek Mill had nothing to do with that. That's just fake AI altered audio that, makes Meek Mill look bad. But the photos that Meek has and Diddy calling him daddy while he's in the pool, you like that daddy, whatever the fuck, I don't know what he says in the video. That's weird. That is very, very weird. Meek Mill looks like he's just in the pool. He looks like something happened to him, right? There's too many instances of video footage and photos that make Meek Mill look suspect in this situation. That's why he gets this attack. And then he makes it worse by going on social media and saying these type of things. I'm going to hire a private investigation team and $100,000. Who's tying me? Like, it's dumb, man. Somehow Meek Mill manages to outdo himself on Twitter every single time with something dumber to say. And then there's Meek Mill's Twitter account was linked to his Amazon account. And Meek Mill, now I'm not saying Meek Mill ordered this stuff, but Meek Mill's Twitter posted that through that Amazon account, there were dildos ordered. So clearly, that's another thing that got people suspect and weird. That it was like, why would you order dildos? You're Meek Mill. What do you need those for? So that's another thing that there's a lot of like instances like that where it's just questionable. People are like, does this guy have something going on with Diddy because he was close with them? And there's videos and there's photos and this and that. Regardless, that's where it's coming from, Meek. I'm surprised you're not like so aware of what the fuck the internet is doing and saying about you, because you're on the internet, you respond to these things, and yet you're not aware of why you're getting these type of accusations. Give me 100,000. I'll break it down for you from the day this thing started till now. There's really no media pushing this. It's just people laughing on the internet at you. And that's really what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. But we'll see what happens if Meek Mill actually gives that $1 million and if he actually hires this $100,000 private investigators to do their work. Lil Durk has claimed that his criminal record has been officially wiped clean. The Chicago rapper, who has an extensive rap sheet, made the announcement on X over the weekend and was understandably thrilled at the news. This is what he said. Everybody should get a second chance at life. It's about what you do with it. Alhamdulillah, my background wiped and clean of all cases. I ain't a felon no more. Who would have thought? I want to thank everyone who helped push my vision forward. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, The Voice. That's fire. Round of applause to Lil Durk, man. It seems like he's making a change. I haven't heard the new track he dropped, but I do want to check it out. I want to see if it's positive or, still talking about street stuff. Probably still talking about street stuff, but hey, round of applause to him. I just wanted to talk about this briefly. Having his record wiped clean, definitely a good look. Congratulations to T.I. and Tiny. They just won $71 million. Literally, that is insane. Why? Because of a lawsuit. Let's go over the article. T.I. and his wife, Tamika Tiny Harris, have been awarded an enormous sum of money after winning a lawsuit against doll brand LOL Surprise OMG Dolls. According to Rolling Stone, the couple were awarded $71 million after it was ruled that the OMG Dolls infringed upon their intellectual property rights. We did this for the city. We did this for the culture, Tiny said outside the courthouse in California after the verdict was delivered. She continued, it was a fight. It was a hell of a fight. We couldn't be more happy. The escaped singer also thanked the jurors for the verdict. We wanted to thank the jurors for just seeing us through this and just believing in what we said. They heard our story. They knew we wasn't lying. It's amazing. T.I. told Rolling Stone after the victory, I think justice was served. I think it's a testament to the relentlessness and resilience of my wife, daughter, and nieces. We're just happy we were able to come out on top and fight for the creatives and our intellectual property that large corporations seem to think is just public domain and a free-for-all to come and grab and use. The complaint was the couple's third attempt at suing MGA Entertainment over their line of LOL Surprise OMG dolls, which they claim copied the appearance of their teen pop group OMG Girlz. The ruling found that seven of the dolls in the product line copied the likeness of the group, which also featured Tiny's daughter, Star, who testified during the hearing, as did her bandmates. In addition to celebrating, T.I. criticized MGA in an interview with Rolling Stone after the lawsuit reached its conclusion. They were trying to paint me as a bad guy when really they were the bad ones, he said. They were the ones that came and ripped us off, and they expected us to not have the audacity to stand up and speak for ourselves. The Also Gang honcho added that that kind of condescension comes from when you're not really in touch with reality of culture after you've gone so long kind of having it your way and nobody really standing up and speaking out against you. He also accused the toy giant of using bullying tactics during the legal dispute. MGA had frequently denied allegations of copyright infringement, claiming the dolls were not based on the recently reunited girl group, and through their attorneys attacked T.I. and Tiny for pursuing the lawsuit, even labeling the couple extortionists. Yeah, man, they won $71 million. Now they got to collect that money. So it's easy, well, it's not easy. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's good that they won, but now they got to actually collect the money. That's the thing about a lot of these lawsuits. You trying to get that money is a whole different story. So, yeah, we'll see what happens moving forward. But overall, round of applause to T.I. and Tiny, man. That is a huge dub. I'm sure they'll collect on most of that money for sure. 50 Cent's Diddy documentary that's coming to Netflix is officially in the works, and it's been reported exclusively by Variety. Let's go over the article. Netflix is producing a docuseries from Curtis 50 Cent Jackson about charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, as well as sexual assault and violent abuse allegations against Sean Diddy Combs. Alexandria Stapleton directs the project, which is currently in production. That's what they had to say. This is a story with significant human impact. It is a complex narrative spanning decades, not just the headlines or clips seen so far, 50 Cent and Stapleton said in an exclusive statement to Variety. We remain steadfast in our commitment to give a voice to the voiceless and to present authentic and nuanced perspectives. While the allegations are disturbing, we urge all to remember that Sean Combs' story is not the full story of hip-hop and its culture. We aim to ensure that individual actions do not overshadow the culture's broader contributions. 50 Cent executive produces through his G-Unit Film and Television banner, while Stapleton executive produces for House of Non-Confliction. 50 announced this a while ago and said that the proceeds from the documentary will be used to support sexual assault victims. So, yeah, it's officially in the works, and it's a docu-series, meaning when they say docu-series, they mean, it's episodes of a documentary and not just, one whole documentary one. I'm very excited for this. I think it's going to be like the Surviving R. Kelly thing. It's going to reveal a lot of things. And, when this was announced, some people were like, oh, 50's only doing this just to be petty. And 50, he wants to shit on Diddy and that. That's one of the reasons, of course. But, the fact that the proceeds are going to sexual assault victims, he's actually doing genuine good to people that have suffered from this stuff. And a lot of people can learn from these things, man. It's not, just because 50's tied to it and he has issues with Diddy, that's not the sole reason he's doing this. He's doing it because, one, like he said in the quote, he wants to make sure that people don't paint this picture that this is hip hop culture. They need to realize that this is an individual that's doing this stuff. And that's the problem, right? When I was seeing reports of this Diddy stuff happening, somehow there are people still tying it to hip-hop and saying that this is hip-hop culture. Yeah, hip-hop, this is what happens. Like, no, it's got nothing to do with hip-hop. This is an individual that did this stuff. This, just because he is in hip-hop culture doesn't mean that he represents all of hip-hop. And that's the one thing that I get frustrated with, because I'm like, no, this is not the fucking thing of hip-hop, and that's just the only thing that's happening. But yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted. I'm sure 50 will do it justice, and we'll make sure that we'll get something of quality. They didn't announce a release date or when to expect it, but I'm assuming maybe in 2025 we'll get it. Obviously, they're probably going to have to wait and see with all this indictment stuff going on, because they got to gather up victims and stuff, and they got to gather up solid evidence, because if they don't do this properly, Diddy can sue, because it could be defamation. I think. I don't know. That's blur the lines on that. It's very tricky, but we'll see. We'll keep our eyes posted moving forward. Lloyd Banks, the motherfucking PLK, has officially announced that he is dropping a new project. It's the All or Nothing series AON, the third installment And this one's called Despite My Mistakes. Fire titles, man. I don't know where Lloyd Banks gets these titles from, but round of applause to him, man. These titles, of course, of the inevitable, Despite My Mistakes. This guy's just, the titles and his albums have always been fire. He dropped the trailer. It doesn't really, it just hovers over New York. What I assume is New York, looks like New York, and just reveals the title of the project. That's it. There's no like music or anything playing in the background. But we are getting this project. There's no official release date. All it says is coming soon. I'm excited. I just wanted to talk about it because obviously me being a huge Lloyd Banks fan, I will be going on live on YouTube immediately whenever the release date is announced. Know that I'll be going live on YouTube on probably, because if it gets released on a Friday, Thursday night it'll come out and we'll be on, during the night. Hopefully this stream doesn't get shut down, but I know with Lloyd Banks, he's not on a major label, so we should be good. I know with the Death of Slim Shady, the stream eventually got shut down for copyright after like we were towards the end of the album, which sucked. But that's YouTube. It's trash for you. I don't know why you're live streaming. That's all you're doing. You're reacting to stuff. It's not technically copyright, but YouTube has its own issues. But anyways, I will be going live, so that's why I wanted to talk about it, and I'm excited that Banks is back. So hopefully this project is one that's, the All or Nothing series I really enjoyed. Hopefully this installment is a good, usually a three mixtape installment is good. And I know a lot of people wanted Cold Corner 3. I do too, but I don't think that's coming anytime soon. I think he might drop that as like an actual album. I would be genuinely surprised if he doesn't. Cold Corner 2 should have been an album. That's how good that mixtape is. I really like, oh my God. I listen back to that mixtape all the time, and it's perfection, man. And the features on it were top. Perfect. That's the only time I actually like ASAP Rocky is on that project. But yeah, shout out to Lloyd Banks. Glad he's still out here dropping music, man. He's one of the few that I'm excited for when music comes out. So we'll keep our eyes posted. Let's get into the Billboard Hot 100. Shabuzi is still number one with a bar song. This song's been number one for so long. Round of applause to him. I think it's like its 13th week at number one. Number two is Post Malone and Morgan Wallen. I Had Some Help. Number three is Sabrina Carpenter, Espresso. Number four is Chappelle Roan, Good Luck Babe. Number five is Die With a Smile, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars. Number six is Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish. Number seven is Loose Control, Teddy Swims. Number eight is Taste, Sabrina Carpenter. Number nine is Please, 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 Sabrina Carpenter. And number 10 is Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. Going down the list, All Red, Playboi Carti debuted at number 15 on the charts. I don't really listen to Playboi Carti, but shout out to him for that debut. Going down, SZA, Saturn, number 31. TGIF, Glorilla, number 33. Like That, Future, number 34. Wannabe, Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion, number 43. Megan Thee Stallion and Yuki Mamushi, number 50. Houdini, Eminem, number 53. 101 Gunna, number 57. Whiskey, Moneybagg Yo, Morgan Wallen, number 60. Passport Junkie, Rod Wave debuted at number 61. Drake, Circadian Rhythm, number 66. Boss Man D-Lo, Shake That Ass, Twerk Song, debuted at number 80. Actually, no, it's not a debut. It's at number 82. So it went up. It was 93 last week. It debuted at number 93 last week. I missed it last week, though. Band for Band, Central C, Little Baby, number 86. Drake, No Face, number 88. Prove It, 21 Savage, number 90. Fuel, Eminem and JID. So the Shady remix got it back on the charts. It went up to number 91. Back on the charts. It was 21 when it first came out. So it's not its peak, but it's back on the charts. Sexy Red, Drake, You My Everything, number 96. And Parking Lot, Mustard, and Travis Scott, number 99. And that's it for today's episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast. As always, I appreciate you guys. Powered by the one and only Golden Eagle Energy Drinks. Get your Golden Eagle Energy Drinks at drinkgoldeneagle.com/DMP. Show them love for showing us love. Spotify, Deezer, Pocket Cast, YouTube, all that. Have an amazing night, day, whenever you listen to this, and peace.